5. How are we, lads? ProEnzo, Vidz, CJ MOXLEY. Alright, we're just walking in now for and Dragons and the Bulldogs come back. The atmosphere! The crowd is electric! And gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast, episode number 78 for your Wednesday night, March 15, 2023. It is currently 7:32 p.m. here in New South Wales. And as always, we are joined by ProEnzo Vidz down the bottom there with the Manly Seagulls stuff in the background. And we're also joined up in the corner by the legendary Rabbitoh supporter himself, CJ MOXLEY.
Thank you.
Boys, how the hell are we? Episode 78. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm keen for it. Should be a good episode ahead, and I'm going really well. Obviously, this week is supposed to be a fantastic week of footy, so I'm looking forward to it.
And CJ is here as always. MOXLEY, how are you, brother?
Yeah, doing well as well. Big game this week, South Roosters, so that's on my mind. Big topics tonight, so can't wait for us boys to discuss.
Oh, mate, we've got plenty to bloody talk about. The NRL news has not disappointed the last week or so. It's been quite full on what's been going on lately. But a lot of shit to talk about here tonight. But first things first, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to ProEnzo Vidz. Congratulations, my brother.
Yes.
3,000 subscribers. Incredible effort. Shout out to you, ProEnzo.
Well deserved as well. It's well deserved as well.
Oh, look, no, I appreciate it, lads. Look, like I said, 3K was a big goal to get this year, so to get there now is fantastic. So, it's massive, massive.
Mate, you absolutely deserve it. Your content is not fake. It's not It's not bullshit. There's a lot of horrible YouTubers out there that have a lot of subscribers, and they pay for views, pay for subscribers. A lot of fake YouTubers out there. But mate, it's great to see you're not one of them. It's great to see that you're a brother of the podcast, you're a brother of the rugby league community, and we all love the work you do, bro. So shout out to you.
Oh, thanks, Nick. That means a lot. And yeah, look, I obviously always try to put the best content out there as possible. So it's great to get there.
And I just want to say as well, if you're not subscribed to ProEnzo Vidz, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. The link to his channel is in the description box below. And make sure you check out CJ's channel as well. The link for his channel is in the description below. And subscribe to me. Subscribe to me as well. It would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. All right, before we get into the show, the live chat is going absolutely off at the moment. It's looking good. Hello, everyone in the live chat. We've got SS Storm fan. We've got Rishi. We've got Roosters fan 16. We've got Jope. Cody Games PlayStation. Faraz. Jason Reader. TJC Sports is here as well. Shout out to you, TJC. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Minty Rabbitoh. William Pearson. Damien from Newcastle's here. Phil Rogers, shout out to the UK followers. Look at everyone here. I'm sure I missed someone. Immortal Wolf is here. Hello, everybody. Devils_Sai. Hello to everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well. All right. That's enough. Let's get into it. Hello, Jack Dempsey as well. Right. Fellas, episode 78 of the podcast. Let's get into it, shall we, fellas? Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Now, topic number 5 is something that I did not want to bring up, but I think everyone has a fair idea what we're going to talk about here. It's a sad thing. A lot of just people in general, bro. So many racist people in this world, man. Something I didn't want to talk about. And CJ, you were there when this happened, but obviously you didn't know anything about it until I told you on the Thursday Night Football Review when you were there with TJC Sports at Penrith Stadium last week. Topic number 5. we can't be that surprised because this world is so messed up. Latrell Mitchell racially abused again. Now, the reason why I say again is because last year we all attended the Rabbitohs Roosters elimination final at Allianz Stadium, that Sunday afternoon game, and I was sitting there, and there were a couple of fans around me, saying racial things towards Latrell Mitchell. I don't even need to repeat what he said, what these people said, because we all know what they have said. But look, this is a topic that I did not want to discuss tonight, but because it's become such a big issue, it needs to be discussed. And CJ, I want to get your take on this one first. Obviously, you were at Penrith Thursday night. You didn't see any of this happen or hear anything about it until after the game. But, bro, what's your take on this? Because I find all these racist comments are absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's just a shame that still in today's age that this happens over rugby league, where I don't know what a kid's even doing coming to the game with that sort of vocabulary even in his fucking mouth. We all know that it obviously stems from a rivalry, which is such a stupid way to try and justify it. If you don't like the player, that's fine, but to go out your way to racially abuse a player is just fucking, it's not on. It's not the first time this has happened, and it's just an absolute disgrace that we still see our Indigenous players get racially vilified. And it's just, look, Latrell, you don't have to like him, that's fine. But to just go out there and call him what that kid called him was just a joke. And look, if I'm the NRL, I'm giving him a life ban. I don't care. It's not on. It's just fucking. It hurts to see it still happen. It's disgusting. It's not on. It's never on. Doesn't matter what team you support. It's not on.
Yeah. Now I have had enough of this crap. I've had enough of the racial abuse that Indigenous players get. It's always against the Indigenous community, and it genuinely pisses me off. I could be in the best mood ever, and then I'll see something like this, my mood will instantly change, no matter what. The Cowboys could come back from 24-0 down against someone, and we could win the game by a field goal, and I could be in the best mood ever. But the moment I see something like this on social media, where someone's been racially abused or in person, my mood will just automatically change, and I'm just disgusted, and I honestly feel sick about what's occurring here in regards to Latrell Mitchell. It's so disgusting. Lorenzo, what's your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, look, enough's enough. I think I'm not shocked, obviously, but it's just disappointing to see that racism still lives on, especially in our arena. I really thought that maybe by now enough education was put into place for younger fans in particular to understand that racism is not allowed in the game, and it's not the type of vocab we use. And look, I feel bad for Latrell. Obviously he's copped it before a couple of times, and apparently Shaq Mitchell copped a little bit as well, his brother. So that there is just even more disappointing than it sounds originally. Yeah. So look, I think now with that, the kid who did abuse Latrell and call him whatever, a life ban is definitely necessary. I agree. I think that's the best way to go about how you punish him. Or like Willie Mason said on his podcast yesterday, maybe send the kid out to the outback regions and maybe just get some education from the Broken Hill or places like that where it's very rural Indigenous culture. So that's where I think he should be punished. So I agree. It's disgusting on Latrell.
Something, from what I understand, he's a 15, 16-year-old boy who said this. He was wearing a Roosters jersey or a Roosters shirt at Penrith Stadium. I'm actually very surprised that his name hasn't come out, because you got to think
It should be.
the person that was there, the person that did this, people would have seen who it was, and you would have thought maybe they would have taken photos of the kid that said it. I'm very surprised that it hasn't gotten out on social media. Now, if it does get out on social media, the kid's screwed. The kid's absolutely screwed. He'll probably get jumped by somebody. But the thing is, right, regardless if he's a 15-year-old kid, regardless of what it is, it's a typical thing of these young teenagers nowadays. These 15, 16-year-old kids, bro. They go to school. They think they're mad. They're wearing their fucking hats on backwards, walk around like a fucking eshay, some sort of fucking idiot. Anyway, and, you know, they go to a game of football and for whatever reason, they think it's okay to call someone that and to say that sort of stuff. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Think before you speak. Look, like CJ said before, you don't have to like Latrell Mitchell. You can even hate his guts, but you don't need to be racist about it. There's no need for it. His parents have a massive responsibility in this. The way you bring someone up, where is it all coming from? Where's this young 15 and 16-year-old kid getting this sort of language from? Is he hanging out with the wrong crew at school? What is the problem? Why is this kid saying this shit? It's an absolute disgrace. It's an embarrassment to his life. It's an embarrassment to his family. And you know what? Banning for life, I think, is an absolute no-brainer. And you know what? I don't care how old he is. I want to know who he is. I want to know who it was. Call him out.
Well,
I want to know the kid's name.
by the time you're 15 years old, 16 years old, you should know that's something you don't say. Yeah, so there's no excuse in that. I don't care how young he is. Little shit.
But the problem is, if his name gets out there, he might get bashed. He might get attacked by someone. Well, to be fair, he brought it upon himself.
It's his fault. Yeah, exactly. It's brought upon himself. Yeah.
Even if he has personal problems with his family and whatever, even if he has a bad relationship with his family, there's still no need to be racist at all. See, here's the thing, right? So I hate Jerome Luai. I can't stand Jerome Luai. I think he's an asshole. I don't like him one bit. You don't see me being racist. You don't see me being a dog. There's no need for it. You can hate someone, but you don't need to be racist about it. Who gives a fuck what color someone is? I don't care if you're blue, green, yellow, red, orange, purple. I don't give a flying fuck what color you are. We all bleed the same color.
Yeah, 100%, man. And
racism is unacceptable. It is just doesn't. Oh, no more. We don't need this shit anymore.
It's already driven too many great athletes out the game. For example, Adam Goods.
Have a look at Adam Goods.
Yeah, exactly.
Go if you watch AFL, you'd know all about it. Adam Goods got racially abused more than once. Called it out more than once. You know what it did? It drove him out of the game. It got him out of the sport. We don't want it to happen to Latrell Mitchell. He's too good of a player. And so was Adam Goods in his own right.
And Latrell's only 25 as well. Still got a long way to go in his career.
Exactly right. You know, we talk about mental health being so important. We talk about players' well-being. Look, I have been pushing for a mental health round for quite some time now, and I honestly think it needs to happen ASAP. But we need to keep understanding that mental health is the number one priority in rugby league. Have a look at Angus Crichton at the moment. He's not playing because of mental health.
Yeah. Even as a South fan, I hope he gets well, because you can't wish that upon anybody. It doesn't matter what fucking jersey they don.
It's an absolute disgrace.
For anything.
Mate, honestly, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. All I will say is we all bleed the same colour. We all shit the same colour. We all piss the same colour. We all do the same colour. It doesn't matter what colour skin you are. We are all fucking humans at the end of the day.
That's right.
No, well said. And look, let's just hope that...
There's no more to it. No more racist shit. We don't need it anymore. We've had enough
Yeah.
of it. Enough's
Well
enough.
said.
I'm just so sick of the racist crap, man. You know what? Maybe we should have we have Indigenous round. Maybe we should have a a different round or something where we stand up against racism. I don't know.
Look, it has to happen. Multicultural
I don't know.
round this week.
Yeah, but it's been ruined by that little kid.
Yeah, fucking little shit. Yeah.
I'm over it. Fuck these racist cunts in this world, man. They can go get fucked. I've had enough of them. Anyway, let's move on. Topic number 4. Fellas, the NRL is bringing in a new concussion rule practically immediately. Pretty not surprising, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to read out what the new concussion rule is. So bear with me. Bear with me if I can find it. I think, Lorenzo, you sent me it earlier. I'm just having a quick look. Oh, here it is. Okay. So the NRL have a brand new concussion rule. They've got Category 1 and Category 2 for the protocols. And I think after what we've seen over the weekend with the Kalen Ponga knockout and the concussions in general, it's not that surprising. Okay. So a Category 1 concussion. Players who suffer a Category 1 concussion will be automatically stood down a minimum of 11 days, meaning they could miss 2 matches. What constitutes Category 1 symptoms? Loss of consciousness, failing to protect themselves when falling, and unsteadiness on feet. Players who show these signs are instantly ruled out of matches, which I think is probably the right thing. So if you get concussed that bad, you fall to the ground, you don't know where you are, and you're pretty much gone. You're pretty much done. And Category 2 concussion rule, fellas. Category 2 means a player has failed the concussion test in the dressing room and is unable to return to the field. What constitutes Category 2 symptoms? A player who sustains a Category 2 concussion may be cleared to play without missing a game, provided they meet with an NRL-approved neurologist. So I think this is probably the right thing for the game. Concussions are serious. If you go off for a HIA and you fail, you may still be able to play the next week if you pass the thing through the week, which is fair enough. But if you get completely knocked out and you fall on that Category 1 part, you're not going to be playing for 11 days. So, ProEnzo, we'll start with you. What's your take on this concussion thing? Do you like what the NRL are doing here with the concussions?
Yeah, I love it. I love it personally. I think it's about time the game does take a bit more notice into players' health after serious head knocks. I think that's the way to go. If that's the period of how long you have to miss until you come back from a head knock. Because I think with Ponga, he's the best example we can probably touch on, because obviously now he's had in the last 10 games, I believe he's had four head knocks in the last 10 games he's played. So that's too much, and I think he's returned a bit too early. So I think now with his 11-day, time off and stuff like that, I think that's just it makes sense, because I think that's enough time to recover fully and get rid of the symptoms in time until you play again in the 2 games after you miss. So look, I'm a big fan of the rule, and I think it's fair enough.
The thing that scares me about the concussion thing is, Lorenzo, is Kalen Ponga has had 2 concussions in 2 games. He had one against the Warriors in New Zealand around the 70th minute.
Yep.
I don't think he was concussed because he was good to play the next week, but he failed it. Apparently, he failed the HIA, and then he had one in the first minute against the West Tigers on Sunday. So he's had 2 concussions in 2 games, which is a worry. It really is.
Yeah.
CJ, do you like these new concussion rules? They're pretty similar to the Super League, where I think in the Super League, if you get a concussion, you're automatically out for 10 to 11 days. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they have this in the Super League as well. I think it's the right call. Obviously, we've got to take care of our players first. Yes, it is a physical contact sport, but we don't want anyone medically retiring so early. We've seen the likes of players like, Boyd Cordner, for example, retire due to things like this. And we don't want to lose a player like Kalen Ponga. So it's the right thing to do, and I'm all for the Category 1 and Category 2 rule that they bring in. Hopefully, no more concussions for Ponga, or anyone. But it's the right thing, and I'm for it. It's the right choice.
My biggest issue and my biggest concern with the Category 1 and Category 2 concussion is the independent doctor. If they're going to rule on this, they better be at the ground. I don't want to be hearing bullshit that they're at home watching it and then making judgments from at home, and then they get on their phone, make a quick phone call to someone and say, no, Category 1, no, Category 2, oh no, HIA, blah, blah, blah. I don't want none of that. I don't want to hear any of that bullshit. I want, if they're going to go through with this Category 1 and Category 2, taking concussions a lot more serious, the independent doctor better be at all the games.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because there's enough drama with them already, so they need to be consistent.
Exactly right. And I think it's pretty obvious when someone's got a concussion. I think, we watch a game of footy and it's obvious when someone's all over the place. It really is. So, Look, I like it, but if someone does get a Category 1 and they're ruled out, and if they pass all the tests, then how do they end up with a fucking Category 1, which could be an issue as well? So, say someone does get a Category 1 concussion, and say they pass all their protocols, they still can't play the next week, which is crazy.
That's a tough one. I can see why at the same time, but
yeah,
how they work around it, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, look, I think if someone gets a concussion and that's it, they're done. Because, like, I had one concussion in my lifetime playing footy back in 2014. I got a concussion. I had 3 guys from Clyde run at me. They hit me right in the nose, and I was knocked out. I got up. I woke up after about 20 seconds. I couldn't play the next week. I was in all sorts, so it makes sense. Obviously, concussions are a lot worse nowadays, but concussions are not fun, boys. I'm not sure if you've had them before, but they're not fun.
Not to a big extent.
They're not fun. I'm telling you, they're horrible, bloody horrible. But look, I think the NRL finally cracking down on concussions, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's positive.
It also plays into long-term effects, and we don't want that 40 years down the line.
All right, well, let's move on to topic number 3 now. And I read this afternoon online. I was just online there looking around at some of the NRL news that's going on at the moment. And Peter V'landys, quite interesting, has come out and publicly said that he is open to a NRL grand final being played at Suncorp Stadium. Now, during the pandemic, Queensland kept the game going, as we know. All the games were pretty much in Queensland, and Peter V'landys did a great job with that, and so did the Queensland government. They all they kept the game going, and it was very good. There was a grand final between Penrith and Souths up there in 2021, but V'landys is talking about a NRL grand final going back to Brisbane to reward them for what they did for the game during the pandemic. Now, I know a lot of people won't be happy about this because the grand final is always at ANZ Stadium in Sydney, and a lot of people will be upset if it's at Suncorp Stadium. But CJ, what do you think about this? Should they go to Suncorp for 1 year just to say thank you for keeping the game going in Queensland?
No, wouldn't hurt, would it? But at the same time, New South Wales have the license for how many years they have. They've agreed on a license, so you've got to obviously honour that. I wouldn't mind if they took it up probably next year, 2024, because we've got to keep the grand final in Sydney this year because it's already been agreed upon. I wouldn't complain if they were to take it to Suncorp, but preferably they have New South Wales on their agreement, so play by the agreement and just keep it in Sydney.
What do you think, Lorenzo? Just 1 year only. The Suncorp say thank you.
Look, I don't think it's necessary because they've already had that one game at Suncorp, the grand final, which was in 2021. And I think that's their thank you in general, I think. But I think just keep it at a core. And as CJ said, it's already been agreed that the grand final is played in Sydney this year. I guess we've had this talk before. And with Suncorp Stadium, I think that maybe you can do what the Super Bowl does, move the grand final to different venues. And maybe just, I don't know, if there is serious talk about bringing the grand final to Suncorp again, then maybe just have turns and having it in Sydney 1 year and Brisbane the next year, if that's what they want to do. But for now, I'm more than happy to keep it at a core stadium.
To be fair, Lorenzo, when the grand final was at Suncorp for 2021, that was because they could get 40,000.
Yeah,
ANZ could only get about 10. Obviously, you want the bigger crowd. That's the only reason the grand final took place, and it was during the pandemic. And we all know how fucked up New South Wales was when the pandemic was on. We were all losing our minds.
Crazy.
I mean, if they go up there, if the NRL take the grand final to Suncorp Stadium for just one season and say this is to say thank you to the Queensland government for keeping the game going, I have no problem with it. I'd love it to be in Suncorp Stadium. It's only 2.5 hours for me to get there, and it'll be an easy drive for me straight up there. I would love it at Suncorp for 1 year and 1 year alone. But then back to Sydney, of course. I know there's a lot of people will be talking about licenses and it's not necessary like you guys were just saying, but I think it is necessary. Why the hell not? 1 year only.
Well,
and then it can stay in ANZ Stadium for the rest of its life.
If they're going to do it, probably 2024, and until that license expires, do whatever you want. But
when does the license expire, by the way?
I think it's like 2034 or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's ages away.
But
30s, yeah.
Look, 2024, have the grand final at Suncorp. You just really want it like that, Peter V'landys, but keep it in Sydney with you.
I think they're talking about it like in the next year or two.
Yeah, if they want to do it next year, go ahead, but do not change it this year. I've seen.
No, this year won't happen. This year will be at ANZ.
Look, I don't see if they wanted to do a thank you thing for Suncorp and stuff, and why not have it last year? Because that would be more ideal, as it was just more recent to when the pandemic was happening. I don't know if it makes sense to have it in the next couple of years. Like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, look, I think it's probably a long shot to go to Suncorp, but it'll probably stay at ANZ for a while.
Yeah, at the moment it's just
it's a long shot.
Exploring options.
But hey, I mean, if it does go to Suncorp, I'll be there for sure. I'm not complaining.
Yep, and just watch us make the grand final because it's our Suncorp.
Oh, here we go
again.
Yeah. All right, topic number 2, fellas. Tommy Talau versus Jackson Hastings post-game argument. Now, I've got to say, I did a live reaction to this Knights-Tigers game, and as I ended the stream, I was just setting up a few things for the Dragons versus Titans live reaction. And I look at the TV, I'm watching the Jackson Hastings interview that he's doing with Braith Astor and whatever from the Sunday Ticket. Anyway, Tommy Talau looks at him, and Hastings is obviously talking about Talau. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Hastings walks over to Talau to say, oh, look, man, I'm sorry for, I didn't mean to hit you in the face. It's an accident. Talau just full-on shoves him. And Hastings is going like this, like, oh, what the heck? And then Talau just keeps shoving him, and then Hastings is like, what the heck? And then the security guard steps in, and then Hastings and Talau obviously exchanging words, and then David Clemmer gets involved, and he has something to say about it, and
Of course.
I don't know. I don't understand. I really don't get it. I know Hastings left the Tigers. It seems like on pretty ordinary terms. They have a match against each other on the weekend. Hastings accidentally hits Talau in the face. Talau has a broken nose. Hastings is obviously trying to apologise. And then Talau just shoves him and blah, blah, blah. And Clemmer gets involved as well. And I just thought it was really poor sportsmanship as far as I understand. And I'd live and breathe and die by this, fellas. But what happens on the field stays on the field.
Yeah.
CJ, what's your take on this whole Hastings and Talau post-game situation?
There was really no need for it on Tommy Talau's part. I think Jackson Hastings obviously went over there to apologise for the unintentional hit. And then Tommy Talau just gives him a push. Like, what's the point of it, mate? It's full time. Let it go. If you want to have words after, go and have words after. But no need to get a bit physical. And for David Clemmer to step in, it's really none of his business at the same time either. I'm with Jackson Hastings on this. Jackson Hastings had all the good intention to go with Tommy Talau and apologise, but yeah, he didn't take it, and it's just poor sportsmanship on Tommy Talau's part because you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You shouldn't be getting physical at full time for any sort of player, no matter what, in my opinion.
Most NRL players with a brain, most NRL players who have a heart of gold would say, I understand, I accept your apology, and that's it, move on. But no, Talau had to have a big sook about it, get shoved, blah, 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 push Hastings like that. Thought it was pretty poor behaviour. Lorenzo, what's your take on it?
Yeah, yeah. I think with Hastings and his tackle, like, it wasn't intentional, obviously. Like, you know, they definitely did not mean to tackle Talau in that way. Even if it did end his night, it was an accident. So I thought at the end of the game, it was right by Hastings to go up to Talau and apologise. But I was shocked with how Talau reacted because I don't think Talau, you know, from my understanding, would ever react like that. So he's not really an aggressive player either. So, yeah, it's a bit of a surprise how he did react like that. But I can only assume that it was from the days of the Tigers, that there was something going on when he left in ordinary terms. And that probably, just that tension may have built up when he came up to him and when the tackle happened. Like, maybe that tension all built up. Who knows? And obviously Clemmer told him to go away and stuff. So, yeah, there's clearly tension of Hastings and how he left the Tigers still. But I think there's no need for Tommy Talau to overreact and grab Hastings by the jersey. But, like, that wasn't necessary at all.
Gee, David Clemmer had no reason to get involved whatsoever. Should have just let Talau and Hastings deal with it themselves. Even if it was an issue that was personal when Hastings was at the West Tigers. You don't deal with that situation there and there. You don't do that. You don't do that at all. That's just dumb. You're going to give the media a headline. You're going to give everyone a headline. There's just no need for it. It's rubbish. It really is rubbish. I understand Talau's upset that, you know, he's got a broken nose and he failed his HIA and he couldn't come back on the field. I understand why he'd be upset, but there's absolutely no need under any circumstances to push Jackson Hastings like that. Hastings went to apologise. What more was Hastings going to say to him? Like, come on, man. Like,
Hastings even said before he went up to him.
What happens on the field stays on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shouldn't have done.
You don't get pushing players after games like that.
And Hastings
unless they mention, you know, something about your family or a personal matter or something that's completely out of line, then okay, fair enough for Talau, but nothing like that has come out and been released.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fire and tension towards Jackson Hastings over the last few days, but I'm on his side personally.
And if you watch the interview from Jackson Hastings with Fox before the apology, Talau was behind Hastings and he was listening to the conversation. Hastings said in an interview that, "Oh, I apologize to Tommy for what I did. It was an accident."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
It's
Hastings
intention.
clearly went over there to apologize until he wanted none of it.
Oh, he was angry. He was very angry.
I don't understand it. I really don't. Well, so what happens on the field stays on the field. If I've got personal problems where they hate each other's guts off the field, fair enough. But that's not how you handle it.
No, it's not.
It's not the right place.
Just a joke seeing players act immature like that.
Yeah, it's pretty unsportsmanship-like. And once again, it comes back down to the West Tigers culture. It's a toxic culture at the Tigers. They're 0-2. They've got a new coach, new style of football. Still can't get it together. It's the West Tigers culture that I think is the main problem, man.
I don't know how much more rock bottom they go.
Yeah,
Haven't made finals since 2011. The way it's going to be it'll be the same record as Parramatta making the top middle of the grand final.
Not a decade, probably.
Yeah, the way it's going. All right, let's go to the last topic, fellas. Topic number 1. Should the NRL expand to 20 teams in the future? There's been talk that I heard about it. I think it was on the Sunday Footy Show the other day, or it might have been somewhere on Monday. I heard about it. The NRL, they want to have 20 teams or something. I was gobsmacked when I heard this. 20 teams. I mean, yeah, more footy. That'd be nice, but I don't think 20 teams is necessary at all.
They want to bring
unless you're gonna have 2 competitions where you've got Division 1 and Division 2 or something. I don't know, but Lorenzo, 20 teams in the future. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think?
Oh, no, I don't. And, I think 20 teams expanding out to that much is not necessary, like you said. I think 18 is limit, because I think 18 is enough for me to proceed going forward with how the game is, and especially with just the Dolphins coming in and stuff like that. One more club makes the whole competition even again. So I don't understand why you want to add a 19th and a 20th team in the end. But I think just, with that whole idea, I don't think the talent pool is big enough for
I agree with that.
20 clubs. I don't think there's enough coaches or enough resources in general, or just players. I just think that 20 clubs is a bit of a push, and too big of a push to happen. So I think 18 is the safest way to go for now.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, we have a troll in the chat.
Yeah, typical. Fuck off.
Yeah.
What's he said? Who's the troll?
I don't know who he is too.
Yeah,
What's up?
The fat man's returned. See you later, fatso.
Fuck off.
Obsessed.
I think someone already kicked him out.
Must be fanatics, because I can't moderate when I'm on live stream.
Yeah, I'm not sure who. What the fuck's my computer doing? I'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, 20 teams, boys. It's a bit out there, isn't it? CJ, what do you reckon, bro? 20 teams or no?
It's a bit much, isn't it? I mean, I prefer just 18 teams. I'm on Lorenzo's boat. 1 team more, and that's it. There's no need for 20 teams. Look, for me, it probably comes down to what happened back in 1999 for the whole criteria thing, and then cutting teams, merging teams. You don't want that sort of risk again, especially if the NRL goes into some sort of financial debt again. That's happened recently. I'm not for 20 teams. Like Lorenzo said, the talent pool isn't out there. If you want to do an 18 team, in my opinion, you'd probably bring back the Bears, but there's no need for 20 teams. It's too much. It's too much, and 18, and that's it, in my opinion, anyway.
I don't think 20 teams would be good for the game.
Wouldn't work.
Like Lorenzo said, I think the talent pool probably isn't big enough. I think once we get that 18th team in, that's it. No more teams. We'll have 9 games around after that. We'll have 9 games of footy. We don't need 20 teams. There's not enough talent going around. There isn't enough kids playing footy at the moment to get 20 teams. Unless you're going to expand the game and you're going to go to somewhere like the Pacific nations and you're going to try and get a team from Papua New Guinea in or whatnot. I just don't think you need to get 20 teams. 18's enough. You have a look at the AFL. I've got 18 teams. I don't think they're going for any more. And
maybe
you get to 18, you get to that even number. That's it. Personally, I'd go with the Perth Bears. You get Perth in. You have them connected with Central Coast. You could call them the Perth Coast Bears or something, whatever you want to call them. Get them in, or you go with a New Zealand team, like Lorenzo said in his video earlier. The what was it? The Auckland? Oh no, the Wellington.
The Wellington Orcas.
Wellington Orcas, or you go with maybe a team in Adelaide or whatever it may be. You go with one more team. You get to 18. That's it. 9 games around. Actually, get a game of footy. You probably bring when football comes. Oh, are we good?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're better now.
Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah.
Sorry, boys. Just had a tiny connection problem. Like I said, we get to 18 teams. That's it. No more teams after that. Would you bring back Monday Night Football with the fixture?
Would it really work in this day and age? Monday night.
It would if you had it at the right place.
If you had it at the right place, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't
Just
think
got to sort out where, though.
if you had a Monday night game at ANZ, it'd fucking
We know that. Like, here's the thing, right?
The Birthing Ground, why not?
The venues that work well for Monday Night Football is Campbelltown, Belmore, Leichhardt, Canberra, all those sort of places. The Gold Coast isn't too bad for Monday Night Football either.
Well, that's just about the crowd they get anyway, so
you can work it. Like, you can work it out. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want a Monday Night Football game between the Roosters and the Bulldogs at ANZ Stadium or Allianz.
Oh gosh, no.
No,
you wouldn't get a big crowd.
3,000. Fuck that.
Yeah, you wouldn't get much of a crowd. But yeah, I think Monday Night Football can work in some areas, unless you go to a regular Sunday night fixture like 7:30 kickoff or something, 7 o'clock.
That could work also. It can't be too late.
It wouldn't be the worst. But hey, 20 teams, boys. I think that would be way too much.
Not yet. Given it, not in 2023. No, not yet.
Maybe 10 years away, right? 10 years away, maybe for that.
Yeah, it's potential. Yeah. But for the next 3, 4, even 5 years, I can't see it.
For the next 5 to 7 years, you go with 7, 8, 18 teams, and then after that, you're looking 10 years maybe for after whatever. But yeah. Anyway, I think we all agree that 20 teams is probably too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, fellas. It is time. It is time for the Breakdown Podcast Game Show.
I need to bounce back.
Well,
big one tonight.
Lorenzo, your form, ProEnzo Vidz, your form as of this year's podcast for the game show has been a shocker. What's been happening, bro? Your form's been terrible.
Don't know. It's hard to explain because, it wasn't like this before, so don't know. Need to be a bit more faster, maybe.
Nervous. Lorenzo's due, so...
Well, let's have a look at the game show odds via NickBet. We've got ProEnzo Vidz is now out at $10 to win.
Fuck. Jeez.
$10 for ProEnzo Vidz. And we've got CJ MOXLEY here at $2 tonight.
I'll take it, but
are the odds fair?
Thinking on Lorenzo, you'll be a rich man if he gets up here.
At the moment, the odds are fair.
Yeah, but with the form that you've been in, Lorenzo, I think the odds are fair. All right, let's get into the Breakdown Podcast Game Show. The first one to get 3 questions right wins. If anybody reveals the answers to the questions in the live chat, you will be banned for 5 minutes. If you do it again, you'll be banned from the chat. So don't go revealing the answers in the live chat because we don't want a bar of it. All right. You fellas ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Question 1. This weekend's game between the Newcastle Knights and the Dolphins, who is wearing jersey number 15 for the Newcastle Knights?
Brodie Jones.
Brodie Jones.
CJ Moxley, Brodie Jones is incorrect. Lorenzo.
Leo Thompson.
Incorrect. CJ.
Is it that? It's a rookie, is it? Dylan Lucas?
That is incorrect. He's number 17.
Fuck.
Lorenzo.
Is it Lachlan Fitzgibbon?
That is incorrect. CJ.
There's another kid I've never heard of in the side. I'm just trying to remember his name. Fuck. I don't know. Is it fucking... Is it... Fuck, I can't give you an answer. I actually don't know.
Would you like a new question, fellas?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I can't give you an answer.
The answer is Matt Croker.
Oh. Of course it is. How did I not know that?
All right, next question. New question. Fellas, in the Manly versus Eels game tomorrow night, who is jersey number 15 for the Eels?
Bryce Cartwright.
Incorrect. CJ.
Is it Makatoa?
Incorrect. ProEnzo.
Jara Moisia.
Incorrect. CJ.
Murchie?
Who?
Jack Murchie?
Correct. It is Jack Murchie. Not bad at all. All right.
The King's favourite.
CJ Moxley with a 1-0 lead. Good start. All right. Next question. Fellas, in the Cowboys versus Warriors game this weekend, who is number 3 for the Cowboys?
Oh, Shibasaki.
Shibasaki is incorrect.
Val Holmes.
Correct. Trick question, CJ, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was Shibasaki in the lineup. I was like,
Trick question. Take notice of the numbers on the players' jerseys, boys.
yeah, I've got to learn
Trick
that.
questions coming in, I'll tell you. All right, we're leveled at 1-1. All right, next question. Fellas, in the Bulldogs versus Tigers game this weekend, who is jersey number 22 for the Bulldogs?
Jaden Tanner?
Who?
Jaden Tanner?
Incorrect. ProEnzo.
Reese Hoffman.
Incorrect. CJ.
Number 20. Is it Josh Reynolds?
Incorrect. ProEnzo.
Jackson Toppany.
Correct.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, boy. Lorenzo needs one more. And he's got the dub. One more. ProEnzo at a whopping $10. Looking to bounce back. He needs one more to win. All right. Next question. Fellas, in the Raiders versus Sharks game on Sunday night, who is jersey number 18 for the Canberra Raiders?
Emre Gula.
Emre Gula is incorrect, CJ. Lorenzo.
Trey Mooney.
Incorrect. CJ.
Jersey 18. It's fucking... is it... Oh, I had his name. Oh, I forgot who it was. Was it Corey Horsburgh?
Incorrect. Lorenzo.
He's a star.
That's Mariota.
Incorrect. CJ.
Is it... It can't be Matt Frawley, right?
Close, but incorrect. Lorenzo.
Zach Wolford.
Correct!
Yes.
Oh.
Finally.
Oh, Lorenzo wins it.
It's about time.
Wow.
The first time in a few weeks.
$10 too.
Lorenzo has bounced back into form with a 3-1 win over CJ Moxley.
Well,
Lorenzo
it was
was a
about time.
whopping $10. But
It's a good
Lorenzo
game.
has bounced back into form.
Oh,
I just want to say
Well
thank
done,
you to
Lorenzo.
Faraz. Yeah, I want to say thank you to Faraz for backing me in the live chat. But look, it was about time. It was about time. we got it.
Lorenzo
It was too long.
loves the underdog tag, so he'll take it.
Oh, man.
No, good game.
All right. Well
Good
done,
game.
boys. That was a good game. It was a really good game, that one. All right. Well, let's get into the NRL Round 3 preview. We're going to go through the games this weekend. And all I want is a 1 to 12 or 13 plus margin for the games. I don't care about who scores first or any time. We'll just go through the 1 to 12 or 13 plus. So round 3 of the NRL kicks off tomorrow night from Brookvale Oval. It is Manly versus Parramatta. Lorenzo is going to be there at Brookie.
Yes, I will.
Need I ask who's going to win?
Look, I'll back Manly by 6. I reckon actually Parramatta will give us a game, but I think us by 6, and I'm going to go for first try scorer Ruben Garrick.
So Manly 1 to 12.
Yeah.
CJ?
Yeah, I'll go Manly by 8. 18 points to 10. Olakwatu will score.
I'm going to go Parramatta 1 to 12. I think Parramatta have to win. This is such a important game for Parramatta. This game could define their season. Considering after this, they play the Roosters, they play the Panthers and then the Roosters. They've got a really tough run to start the year, Parramatta. I think desperation will get Parramatta tomorrow night. So I'm going Parramatta 1 to 12, but it could be
It's a big game.
This game could be decided by a field goal, to be honest.
Well, I'll be nervous if that happens.
Oh, yeah. I know the feeling, Golden Point games. Jesus Christ. All right, Friday night, the early game, the 6 o'clock game. The Knights and the Dolphins, Lorenzo.
I've got the Dolphins here by 10, and anytime try scorer, I'm going to back Brenko Lee.
Yep, Dolphins 1 to 12 for you. CJ?
Yeah, I'll go Dolphins by 14, and I think the Hammer will score a double.
I'll go the Dolphins 13 plus. That'll be too good for the Knights. The Knights have got too many players out at the moment with injury. The other game Friday night at 8 o'clock at Allianz/Trelliant Stadium. The big game of the weekend. The biggest rivalry in the NRL. The biggest rivalry in Rugby League. We've got the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. I think it will be sold out. CJ, I believe you're going to be there.
Yeah. Look, it's the biggest game on my calendar, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll just go out on a limb. South by 16 points. South 13 plus.
Oh.
26 to 10. Campbell Graham double. Latrell will score at any point in the second half.
So South 13 plus for CJ. What about you, Lorenzo?
Oh, sorry, CJ, but I'm going with the Roosters here by 2. I think it'll be a very close game, though. And I'll go with Johnson for the first try.
No, I'll take AJ at dagger.
I am going with the South Sydney Rabbitohs to win 1 to 12. I think they're in better form at the moment. I like the Rabbitohs 1 to 12.
Let's hope so.
All right. Super Saturday begins at 3 p.m. up at Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. We've got the Titans versus the Storm, Lorenzo.
I've got Storm by 14 points. Should be a bit too strong, I think. And anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with that other phone Pereira kid to score any time.
Oh, not bad. CJ.
Yeah, Storm by 12, I think. And I think Justin Ollerman, his return, will barge over for a try.
I'll go the Melbourne Storm 13 plus, but not a big 13 plus, like a 14 to 18 point margin sort of thing. Melbourne to win over the Gold Coast. I think they'll get the job done. 13 plus. I think Harry Grant and Jerome Hughes will get them home. They'll bounce back from last week. Storm to win.
Surely.
Super Saturday also continues with the 5:30 game up in Townsville. It's my team, the North Queensland Cowboys, up against the New Zealand Warriors. I'll start on this one, fellas. I think the Cowboys will win. I think it'll be closer than we think. I'll go the Cowboys 1 to 12. Warriors will be competitive, but I think we'll get the win at home 1 to 12. Who do you like in this one, Lorenzo?
Yeah, I think Cowboys by 8, so I think it'll be a bit of a close game for a bit. And I like for
Yeah.
any time try scorer, Jeremiah Nana in the back row.
I love it. Jeremiah and I. What about yourself, CJ?
Yeah, I think there'll be a try decided in it. It's usually a close contest between these clubs, but it's at Townsville, so got it back to Cowboys. Cowboys by 6, and just go down homes.
Yeah. The final game of Super Saturday, the 7:30 game up there at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. We've got the Brisbane Broncos up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Ben Hunt's never lost against the Broncos, which is a crazy stat to think. But CJ, bro, Broncos and Dragons, who do you like here?
Well, I think that stat ends because I think the Broncos will get them. Broncos by, let's go, 18 points, and I think, Paddy Carrigan will score this weekend.
Ooh, nice. What about yourself, ProEnzo?
Yeah, I think Broncos should be a bit too strong for the Dragons. I'll go Brisbane by 16. And I'm going to go with Cobbo for a try anytime.
Yeah, look, I'll go the Broncos 13 plus. I think they'll continue their streak. The Broncos will go 3-0 to start the year, and they will get the win over the Dragons. But the Dragons, if you're having a bet, Dragons at the start might be some good value, but Broncos to win. Let's go to Sunday football. The first game at 4 o'clock, Belmore Sports Ground. I expect it to be sold out. Bulldogs, Tigers, Lorenzo.
I've got the Dogs here, 13 plus, and I think they'll be too strong with the atmosphere. And I think anytime try scorer, Jacob Carraz will score in the second. He'll score the second try of the match, I reckon.
Yeah. CJ.
Yeah, Bulldogs by 24. It's at Belmore. If Josh Reynolds does end up playing, I'll back him for a try, but if not, Reed Marnie.
Let me just say it. If Josh Reynolds doesn't play, there's going to be a lot of people upset. He's in the reserves.
Yeah.
I think the Bulldogs win. The Bulldogs are my guarantee locks of the weekend. Dogs 13 plus. They will destroy the Tigers at Belmore. Shout out to All Out Champa. He is attending the game. Hopefully the Tigers can win for him, but I think the Dogs are going to win by a lot. 20 plus. And the final game of the round, Sunday night, 6:15. Probably the best Sunday night game that we've been given so far this year. We've got the Raiders and the Sharks from Canberra. This should be a good game, boys. Lorenzo, who do you like here?
Yeah, it should be a good game, I think, and I really am looking forward to it. I'm actually going to back the upset, and I'm going to go Canberra here by 6 points, I reckon. I think they'll actually win at home as they return there for the first time this year. And I'll go with Nick Kotrick for a try anytime.
CJ?
Yeah, the Raiders got a pretty dominant record over Cronulla, to my knowledge, but I think that's going to break as well. I've got the Sharks by 8. Jesse Raymond to score. I think the Sharks they'll break that duck.
The Sharks haven't beat the Raiders since 2018 or something.
5 years.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Canberra won 8 in a row against them. I reckon Canberra get their first win of the year. Canberra will win their first game of the year this weekend. They'll beat the Sharks 1-12 on Sunday night. Should be a good one. Boys, it's been a fantastic podcast tonight. It's been a great show. ProEnzo and CJ, thank you very much once again. Episode 78 is complete. It's been a great show tonight.
No worries. Thank you for a good episode yet again.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Fantastic show.
Bring on next week's podcast, and let's hope this round's a good one.
Bring on episode 79 next Wednesday. We might try and get a special guest on for next week. And bring on round 3 of the NRL. It all begins tomorrow night. Manly versus Parramatta should be fantastic. We've got some great games to look forward to this weekend. Thank you all for tuning into the podcast tonight. It's been a fantastic show. Thank you to the live chat as well for being awesome as always. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a fantastic Wednesday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Thursday night football review. I might even live stream tomorrow night's game, actually. I think I will. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Manly Eels stream. Thank you all for watching the podcast. Like and subscribe. Have a great night, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.